world? Established Rich coming right back at you. And this one right here, this one caught me off guard. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. We talking about Gucci Mane, and we talking about a move that wasn't just music. This was an MFing statement, because he dropped a song called Crash Dummy, and this ain't no regular song. This is a direct response to a real situation.
Tell the truth, you went out like a real crash dummy. And after all that, boy, you still signed to me? Wow. I'm like Birdman and nigga, this my cash money. And your fat ass flunky, he a stone cold junkie. You know I got my bread up, I always keep my head up. I thought it was a business meeting, but it was a setup.
Now let's keep it real. Most people didn't see this coming, because when you hear about a situation like this, you expect silence or courtroom moves. You don't expect a diss track. But when you really think about it, what else could Gucci do? Because this ain't no rap beef. This is allegedly a setup. This is allegedly a man walking into a room thinking it's a business meeting, and it turned into something else. So now you got a choice. Handle it quiet or speak loud. And Gucci chose loud.
He realized just fucked the whole culture up. You realize hurt my feelings, fool. You realize hurt my feelings, fool. You a grown-ass man, bro. And you got a whole lot of money. What the fuck you worry about a chain and a ring and shit for? I know why R.I.C.H robbed you. If he did. Cause he didn't think you were gonna tell on him, fool. He thought you was street like I did. He didn't think you were gonna put the police on him, fool. You a green ass nigga, Wop. You a green ass nigga, fool. You a green ass nigga, fool. That shit green as hell, fool. And he a young nigga. I ain't on no old Memphis, Atlanta shit. I ain't on no old nah, bro. I'm moving strictly on morals and principles right now, bro. That's a young nigga, bro. That young nigga 24, 25, bro. I understand your pride and your ego might get in the way, but you as a 40-year-old man, bro, I'm 34. I'll be 34 in June. I understand 23 and 24 and 25-year-old. I done gained a whole lot of patience for them young niggas. Because I was once that young nigga.
He didn't wait for court. He didn't wait for testimony. He walked into the booth and he said what was on his mind. And that's exactly what this record sounds like. It don't sound polished. It don't sound calculated. It sounds like a man just talking from his heart. A man saying, this is what happened to me. Now let's break down the core of this record, because every line has intention. First, the setup. He talked about walking into a studio, thinking it's a meeting, thinking it's business, thinking it's paperwork, and then realizing it's a setup. And that feeling right there is what he's rapping from. Not theory, not imagination, experience. Now let's talk about the title, Crash Dummy. That's not just an insult, that's a statement. He basically saying, R.I.C.H threw his life away. You made a move that didn't even make sense long term. You risked everything for a moment. And in Gucci mind, that's the dumbest play you could have ever made. Now here's where it gets interesting, because Gucci Mane says after you doing all of that, you still signed to me. Now that line right there is cold, because that's power, that's control. That's him reminding everybody that I'm still the boss in this situation. No matter what happened, the business side ain't changed. And that's a different type of message. Now, let's go deeper, because he ain't just stop at R.I.C.H. He went at his whole family. He started talking about where his behavior came from, saying it was learned or it was passed down. Now that's personal. That ain't just rap. That's a man feeling betrayed. And when you hear that, you can tell this wasn't written in no boardroom. This wasn't sent through no writers. This was not made for the radio. This sounds like he walked into the booth and he just let it go. And sometimes that's when the real truth comes out. Now, let's talk about the tone, because that's also important. He don't sound emotional. He sounds detached. He sounds like a businessman. Like, it's just business. Now that right there, that's a defense mechanism, because when somebody close to you do something like that, you got two options. Take it personal or turn it into business. And he chose business. He basically saying, I'm not even mad. I'm just moving on. But let's be real. You don't make a song like this if it didn't hit you. Now here's where this gets strategic. And this is the part people are not talking about enough. By dropping this record, he changed the power dynamic, because now he ain't just a name in the case. He's a voice in the narrative. He didn't wait to be questioned. He answered before the questions were even asked. And that's a power move, because now anybody trying to pressure him or embarrass him, anybody trying to intimidate him, it ain't gonna hit the same, because he already spoke publicly and loud. And he ain't do it in the court. He did it in the culture. And that's a different level of impact, because a courtroom has limits. A song, that can go everywhere. That goes to the streets, to the fans, to the internet, and to the history. And now his version of it is out forever. Now let's address something real. A lot of people gonna say he should have just stayed quiet. But let's be honest. Sometimes silence looks like weakness. And sometimes speaking looks like strength. And in his position, he chose strength. Now, what does this mean moving forward? It means this situation is not cooling down. It means this ain't going away quietly. It means this is about to play out on multiple levels. Legal, business, cultural. And this song is just the first chapter of all of that. This wasn't just a diss record. This was a statement. A statement that said, I ain't hiding from this. I'm gonna address this shit right now. And whether you agree with it or not, you gotta respect the move. Now what happens next? Because that record was not the end of it. That was the beginning. Once Gucci Mane dropped Crash Dummy, he didn't just drop a song. He positioned himself. He drew a line and said, this is where I stand. Now everything that happens after this has to line up with that energy. Because you can't speak that loud and then move quiet after. Now let's talk about the legal side, because this is where it gets real. There's a case, there's charges, and whether he wants it or not, his name is connected to it. So now the question becomes, do you testify? Do you step in that courtroom and say all of this under oath? Because let's not act like that's small. That's a career level decision. That ain't just legal, that's cultural. Because in hip hop, the word testify carries weight, and everybody knows what it implies. Now let's be grown about it. This ain't the streets, this is business. And if somebody put you in a position where your life was at risk, you got a right to speak on. But the culture don't always see it that way.
Pausing that.
Yeah.
Because what the
Oh, he said I don't like anything about this. That's what I'm referring to. So I'm asking my man, are you back on that side? Pack him up. I don't agree with that nigga.
It's over now. It's over, buddy. It's up. Pack him up. Outside of this song being absolutely horrible,
true,
it sounds like the stenographer wrote it.
Yeah, they tell him.
That's what it sounds like. I'm a businessman. He said I'm a businessman 90 times on this month. Who are you telling us? Who are you telling court?
Yeah, my problem.
Who is he talking to? Or
it might be.
I'm a civilian. I just want millions. I don't want no trouble. But shut the up with this. Get him out of here. Because this wasn't the tone at the Jeezy verses.
That's a fact. I'm with you. That's a fact.
So
Joe,
yeah, I like my street niggas to be consistent.
And when you hear that, you realize something. This ain't just about right or wrong. This is about power. This is about who has the leverage when the smoke clears. Now look back at that song and listen different. When he say it's just business, that might not just be talk. That might be his plan. Because a man that thinks like that, he ain't moving off emotion. He moving off position. Now let's talk about what this does to Pooh Shiesty. Because this record, it ain't just disrespect. It's damage. It's damage to his image. It's damage to the perception. Because now the story ain't quiet. Now it's public. Now everybody hearing one side on repeat. And that matters. Because before the court even speaks, the culture is already forming an opinion. And that opinion, it sticks. Now let's go even deeper. Let's talk about legacy. Gucci Mane has been in this game for decades. He has rebuilt his image. He has transitioned into a boss. So for him, this ain't about just one situation. This is about everything he has built. And if he feels like somebody tried to play him, tried to set him up, then in his mind, this response is justified.
You know I got my bread up, I always keep my head up. I thought it was a business meeting, but it was a setup. I walk in the room, you can feel the pressure building. Niggas doubt me up the whole time they plotting against me.
Gucci, I'm gonna keep it a being with you. I think you torpedoed your legacy, and this nigga is like a generational goat. That nigga treated you like a herb, robbed you, took your wedding ring off, unscrewed your earring, told you shut the fuck up, you might get your ass shot on GP, had you on your knees begging and pleading, and all you did was do a diss song. Whenever Shiesty come back out, yes, yo, Shiesty is 26. Whenever he get out of jail back and he drop his next shit, bro, this thing is like King Kong when it comes to street rap. King Kong. Nigga, he done gave you every example. He done given you every example of what he talking about. He robbed a rapper, shot a security guard, shot another nigga in his ass, robbed that. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. And for all the people who might be like, you're being a little bit ignorant. No, we're talking about street rap here. In street rap, ignorance, especially when people live through it and get through it, is what builds the aura. The idea when you hear, oh, this nigga got a couple of bodies. Oh, this nigga, he did blah, blah, blah. He survived getting shot this amount of times. This is why rappers used to lie about how many times they got shot, because it created the Superman effect. It's a reason why we listen to Gucci shit back in the day and we hear all these wild things. You're like, oh, shit, Gucci's that guy. I think Shiesty's image goes up with this. Now, yes, he's going to do some time. Not denying that. But Gucci dropping this song to brag and boast, I don't know, man. It got to be the man.
Now, here's the hard truth. No matter what he does next, somebody gonna have a problem with it. If he testifies, they gonna say he wrong. If he don't, they gonna say he's scared. If he stays quiet, they gonna question him. If he speaks, they gonna criticize him. So at that point, you just stop trying to please people and you start moving how you see fit. And that's what this record feels like. It feels like a man saying, I don't care how y'all see it. I'ma say what I need to say. And it's something powerful about that. Now let's talk about the future. This situation is not done. It's just starting. Because now everybody is watching. The courts are watching. The streets are watching. The industry is watching. The fans are watching. And every move from here is going to be magnified. So the real question is, what is the end game? Is it just to speak his truth? Or is it to win everything? Legally, financially, and publicly. Because those are three different wins. And how he moves next is going to tell us everything. And I'm going to land the plane like this. This situation is not just about music. It's about choices. It's about what you do when you feel disrespected. It's about how you respond when you feel played. And most importantly, it's about what you're willing to risk to stand on your truth. And right now, Gucci Mane has made his position clear, loud, direct, and unapologetic. And whether you agree with it or not, you can't ignore it. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.